Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios here in the Black Hills of South Dakota. I'm your stock miner, Brian Johnson, making professional trading simple. And I just got back from our trip to Denver this weekend. For those of you that didn't know, I went to Denver real quick with the family for a couple days. We had a good time. Now we're back. Ran into a little bit of snow, a little white knuckle, so I'm still a little buggy from the trip, but I'll do my best to get through this. Oh, and then I get home, I unpack everything, quickly plug my headset in, and go to work on making the video. Guess what? Yeah, I forgot to check to see if everything was working properly. So I got through the entire. I did this already once, and there's no audio. The video's wonderful, but there's. Ugh. So anyway, so this is my second attempt at doing the same video for you. The first one was, yeah, 17 minutes of my life I'll never get back. So I've had a run through. I should be able to really fly through this one. And anyway, it'll be better for you because it'll be shorter. We're looking at the markets, and you can see here that we have had sideways chop action for the last month. We're in the same boat. We're right back up to resistance. Now it's up to you. Are you brave enough to go short here? It's worked in the past. Um, Recommendation? Sure, why not? You know what? It's more of a spec play to take it short up here, but it's worked in the past. And you know what? When it hits support, guess what it does? It bounces off support and goes right back to resistance. Then it comes back down to support, then it goes back up to resistance. Will that make a difference because this is options expiration week and there should be extra volatility? Who knows? We do not know yet. I will tell you that typically the volatility comes in beginning of the week and kind of starts to dry up towards the end of the week, but it's anyone's guess if that'll happen with Christmas coming here in the next couple weeks. And we keep pounding the top side. You can see we tend to spend a little bit more time up at the top than we do at the bottom. So that might make a difference too on this next approach at 10,500. But a spec play would be to take it short at 10,500, put a stop up about 10,530, 10,550 if you can afford it, and then just see what happens. You can see that we haven't been able to break up, and the breakdown would have been great. You know, playing it back down to 10,250. That's a pretty good move. So you could risk what 50 points to make 250 points. It's not bad. That is not bad. Good risk to reward ratio there. I also, because it's options expiration week, I also cut back on my position sizes. If I typically take 100 shares on something, I will cut it back to 50 or even 25, and I'll just nickel and dime this thing. I don't hold a lot of stuff overnight during options expiration week, and I just nickel and dime the markets for whatever I can pull for the course of the week, and then I wait for it to get back to some normal trading, which we probably won't see, quote unquote, maybe normal trading for another couple weeks until after Christmas is over. So keep that in mind as we roll forward. All right, so it's up to you whether or not you want to take this short up here. It's 10,500 on the Dow. It's 1815 for a short on the Nasdaq, and it's 1115 or 1120ish for a short on the SPX. But it's all the same premise. Put a little stop above it. If it doesn't work, whatever. But you could potentially do pretty well. And don't be surprised if we start tomorrow maybe flat to sideways. Seems to be that when we get right up to resistance, we move sideways for a while before making the next major move. So maybe that'll happen tomorrow too. Maybe it'll be flat, boring trading all day tomorrow. All right, so moving on to the Dow Daily. You can see here too that we are right back up to overhead resistance. I need to move this line up ever so slightly, which I have not done yet, but we're right back up to overhead resistance, looking for a break of 10,500 or a break of 10,200 ultimately. Now because we are moving sideways, this is bullish, guys. This is bullish behavior, so I have to be neutral to bullish going into the week. If we close below 10,200, I will move back to neutral, but not neutral to bearish quite yet on a daily type of a time frame, on a swing trading time frame. NDX on a 60-minute, you can see all this chop, chop, chop. While everything else seems to be back up to its highs, this is not. So it is lagging behind other things. A break of 1815 is that long I was telling you about, or you can short at 1815 and put a little stop at 1820 or whatever, however you want to manage it. Break below 1780 is probably a pretty defensible place to get short. NDX on a weekly, this is a high base formation. High base formation is bullish. Looking for that break above 1815 to confirm. SPX on a 60-minute, it's in limbo right now. You need a break below 1100 or a break above 1110 or 1112 for an intraday play. From a swing traders, I'd really wait for it to break either 1115 or 1120 if you're more. I'd say 1115 because I think 1120 is going to be met by this overhead channel line. Or a break below 1085, which we saw last week held again as pretty good support. So We want to get below these areas here, especially below 1075. If that happens, I think we can make 1050 before we see a major bounce from there. SPX on a weekly looking the same, kind of sideways to up a little bit, but it really is in the overall scheme a high base. It is sideways overall, so be watching that one. VIX on a daily, you can see fear is not pouring out of the markets quite yet. VIX on a weekly, it'll be over this way when it starts the next candle, so it could come down, still stay above this dotted line and above the big green support line here, and would hit both of them next week. That would be very bullish for the markets and would move that VIX back down into these lower areas. Boy, that would really show a lot if the VIX made it down there. That would be a lot of fear coming out of the markets. Apple on a 60-minute. This one has been very choppy, very difficult. I could probably draw a line that went from here across here and over this way and kind of start to make what would appear to be an inverse head and shoulders. If that's the case, target on that would be